limit how much you receive and take in, but even then you're gonna be exposed to something. Because even when I watch TV, I'm exposed to something. It's no way I can watch TV and not be exposed to nothing going on. Like, it's no way, it's impossible. So I have to pray. So I'm telling y'all to pray. And I'm gonna speak to y'all later. Enjoy y'all day. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I did the video earlier, and I'm just speaking on a couple of stuff, but I'm finna read the Bible. I'm finna read the verses with what I'm talking about. And basically I was talking about Eve. One part was speaking on Eve. It was speaking on Eve and Adam, and when they was tempted, and basically this is the fall of man. So this is Genesis chapter 3. I'm finna read this because it was a duality. And basically God just saying it's a duality. And this lady was also stressing it's a duality. Really pretty much with everything. Like, even when you look with the internet. You know, the internet could be a good thing. But it could be just as bad. And it just depends on how you choose to use it. Whether it's going to be good or evil with what's going on. So it's like a duality. With just a lot of stuff that go on in life. It got an equal and opposite reaction. It just really depends on where you leaning toward. Depending on what it's going to be. Like a duality type thing. So this lady, she was kind of stressing it to people because she was talking about this fruit that was in the Garden of Eden. And I'm going to try to see if I can read it. I might go into it. Let me see. Hold on, I'm finna look it up real quick because I'm finna read about this fruit. Oh, okay. Well, this actually goes right into, you know, what I was saying about the duality of things. Because even with this tree, you know, when they were tempted, he said you will be like God, knowing both good and evil, like a duality type thing. If that makes sense. I know. Yeah. Okay, I'm finna read this chapter 3, y'all. So it say 3 is the temptation and fall of man. So Genesis 3, it say, now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, has God indeed said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the tree of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God said, let me read this over. Let me get it out and read it over. Okay, y'all, I'm ready. Okay, it say, now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field, which the Lord had made. And he said to the woman, because you got to read this word for word, like you really have to pay attention to this. And he said to the woman, has God indeed said you should not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, you shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. Then the serpent said to the woman, you will not surely die, for God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing both good and evil. So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree desirable to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate. She also gave to her husband with her, and he ate. Then the eyes of both of them were open. So now they woke. And they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves coverings. And they heard the sound of the Lord walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. Then the Lord called to Adam and said to him, where are you? So he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree which I commanded you that you should not eat? Then the man said, the woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I ate. And the Lord God said to the woman, what is this you have done? The woman said, the serpent deceived me, and I ate. So the Lord God said to the serpent, so this is the, so basically, because I don't want to be reading. So basically, while I'm reading this right here, you know, he just saying, you know, you see the duality of, you got one seed, one tree, but the fruit, he said it will bear both good and evil. Like he said, you will be like God, knowing both good and evil. Sometimes, you know, it's not always good to want to have all that knowledge. Like sometimes, like even with the internet, sometimes it's just too much exposure, just knowing everything all at once. Like it's just like the type of download, it could just have a negative impact on you. So even with him saying you will be like God, knowing good and evil, and it said, because I'm looking at this as I'm talking to y'all. So when the woman saw the tree was good for food, so she had to have good reasoning to even want to eat this. So she's looking at it and she's like, oh, well, this good because it's good for food. That's the first thing. It was pleasant to the eyes. And a tree desirable to make one wise, she took of its fruit. You know, I told they had this innocence of a child. And so maybe she felt like, you know, like just wanting this wisdom, so to speak. And so she just like, oh, it'll make me smarter, so let me eat of this tree. So she took of this tree, and she also gave it to her husband. But the covenant was with Adam. I'm tickling myself with this. Because when I read the lost books of the Bible, and it speak on Eve eating this fruit, it said God was saying that Satan made this tree way more appealing than what it really was. Like he did something to make her more enticed with this particular tree. Because God said in the lost books of the Bible that wasn't even the best tree in the garden. Like it wasn't even the best one. But she was deceived and tricked. And Satan, and they do say that in a lot of books, like Satan deceived her to make this particular tree appear way more appealing than what it really was. Basically, that's what it was saying in a lot of books of the Bible when I read. So when I look at her and her reasoning, like she had to reason and just make some, like logically, like, okay, yeah. So I'm just looking at this real quick, y'all, just seeing if anything come to me dealing with this. And ain't nothing really coming to me dealing with it. Okay. So now I go into the curse. So basically they went against what God was saying, but even with this going on, God created a covenant with Adam. Just remember that. When God said do not eat of the fruit, Eve was never the one he established the original covenant with. It was Adam. Okay. So I'm going into the curse now. Excuse me, y'all. Because I'm trying to see where God going to go with it, but let me keep reading. So the Lord God said to the serpent, because you have done this, you are cursed more than all cattle and more than every beast of the field. On your belly you shall go, and you shall eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. So there was the punishment or the judgment against the serpent. So you see where it say on your belly you should go. So that means at one point or another, this serpent didn't slither around on his belly. Because the aftermath of the curse is saying, on your belly you shall go. So the curse of this serpent is now it has to travel on its belly. So that right there is a, because you have to look at this to see how things was originally before the curse. So you have to kind of take that into effect too. So if he's saying on your belly you should go, that mean that one the original design of this creature. This creature didn't originally just slither on his belly, but because of the curse, now it's cursed to slither on his belly. So it was another form that this creature came in. Okay, that was going on with the serpent. Okay, it said, to the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. In pain you shall bring forth children. Your desires shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. Okay, we're finna stop there. So basically, to the woman, he just said it's gonna be sorrow. He just said he's gonna multiply your sorrow. And you know, women, they go through a lot of sorrow. They go through a lot. It said, and in pain you shall bring forth children. So if you are able to have children and it's not through pain that you bringing birthing these kids, that's a gift. Just take it as a gift from God. Because the curse says you should be in pain. But we all know that some women, they really do have smooth pregnancies. So having a smooth pregnancy is God giving you grace. Because of the fall, you know, it's just supposed to be just a hard, painful type thing for you to even bring kids into the world. But we all know everybody don't have hard pregnancies. Okay. And then the second part of this say, your desire should be for your husband, and he should rule over you. So if the curse is your desire should be for your husband, that wasn't her original. Her desire wasn't to her husband originally. That wasn't her original desire. Her desire, like before the curse, her desire was not to her husband. Because now that she's cursed, he's saying, okay, now your desire should be to your husband and he should rule over you. So originally, he didn't rule over her. Now, because of the curse, now he ruled over her. And it's a curse for your desires to be to your husband. It say your desire shall be for your husband. That's a curse. Because men is flawed. So if your desires are to your husband and he should rule over you and he's not perfect, then y'all both gone. It's just like y'all both walking off a cliff out here. Like that's what that means. So when I look at this and people be like, ooh, you supposed to be, it's like, shoot, what was the original design? Like what was the original order of things? Because the original order of things was not her desiring her husband and he wasn't ruling over her. That came after the fall. That came after the disobedience. That came after the fall of man. Now he done put this stipulation in place where he's telling her, now your desire should be for your husband and he should rule over you. That wasn't the original design. Because if it was the original design, he wouldn't be speaking and directing it to them as a curse. Do that make sense? Okay. Because some people take this curse and be like, yeah, your desire is supposed to be to your husband. Y'all do know there's a curse, right? You do know that when Adam disobeyed God, when Adam and Eve disobeyed God, the curse was your desire should be to your husband. You know that, right? Dang, my ice, y'all. I'm trying not to crunch too hard, but do y'all get what I'm saying with it? So, people take that verse and take it all the way out of context. And it's actually a curse. Because as part of him explaining the punishment behind their disobedience, he tell her that she's going to bring children in the world in pain and she's going to go through great sorrow. This is what he telling Eve. But also in this process of him telling Eve this, he's also telling her, well, now your desire will be for your husband and he going to rule over you. That was a curse. That was a curse. So people, they like to just take that verse and just run with it. Y'all can keep running. To y'all people, y'all can keep running with that curse. It's a new covenant. So that desire should be to your husband. He should rule over you. It's a new covenant established. It's a new order going on. You know, it's a new order. This the Old Testament, the Old Covenant, and this was a curse. This was a curse for the disobedience. So that means in the original design, Eve's desire was not to her husband, and her husband was not ruling over her. Because after she fell, now God is saying, your desire should be to your husband, and he should rule over you. I keep having to stress this to people. Because people just feel like they get married and be like, your husband flawed out here. He in the flesh like you. So y'all both gonna go, if he go over the cliff, you gonna go over the cliff too. So, that was a curse. That was the curse that came with her eating that fruit. So he's cursing them now. So when I stress to people that that's a curse, you know, okay. You know, you can say what you want, but when I'm reading Genesis, and I read her in the fall of man, and I read him just giving them their judgment. This is her judgment. Your desire should be to your husband, and he should rule over you. So that means that the original design of Adam and Eve, her desire was not to her husband, and he did not rule over her. Because after she ate the fruit, God said, okay, now your desire should be to your husband, and he should rule over you. Okay, and that's a curse. This a curse. Like, this is the punishment behind the judgment behind them eating the fruit. That's what that is. Okay. Then it says to Adam, he said, and you know I told you, he had it the hardest because he had the actual covenant with God. So when God handed down these judgments, Adam got it the worst. Like, Adam got hit the worst with the judgment behind eating the fruit. Only because he had a direct covenant established with God. Not Eve. Him. So it said to Adam, he said, because you have heeded to the voice of your wife and have eaten from the tree of which I commanded you, saying, you shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for your sake. And toil you shall eat of it, and all the days of your life, both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you, and you shall eat the herb of the field, and the sweat of your face you shall eat bread, till you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken, from dust you are, and to dust you shall return. And Adam called his wife Eve because she was the mother of all living. So that's why I'm saying like, even when he giving the curse to Eve, he really was calling her the mother of all living, because he like, okay, you finna be dealing with birth and conception. And he just like, you finna be going through some stuff. Like through your birthday pains, you know, it's bittersweet. Because you dealing with the pain of having to bring life into the world, but then when you bring the manifestation of life, that's a beautiful thing. So that's why I was saying, like, even with Eve and him handing down the curse, I really didn't see it as he really was gentle with Eve. Like, he really went hard on her. But Adam, he was hard on him for disobeying him. And then it say also for Adam and his wife, the Lord God made tunics of skin and clothed them. Then the Lord said, behold, the man has become like one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. Therefore the Lord God sent him out of the Garden of Eden to till the ground from which he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed cherubim at the east of the Garden of Eden, and a flaming sword which turned every way to guard the way to the tree of life. Okay, so I'm not read that part right there. He's saying that now he's speaking to he said, behold, the man has become like one of us, to know good and evil. They didn't know evil at first. Everything was good. All they knew was good. They knew no bad. They knew no bad. It was no bad. It was nothing bad. When they ate of that fruit, now they know good and evil. Now they gonna have to make a choice on good or bad, right and wrong. because now they know this. First, all they knew was good, so everything was good. Now, because they know good and evil, now they free will. They can choose to do good, but then they can equally choose to do bad. That's what I'm getting out of it. To know both good and evil means you gotta make a choice. So at first you didn't have to make a choice because everything was just good. It was just handed to you. Here, you in heaven, automatic. But now you gonna have to find your way back. And now you know good and evil. Through your free will, you might do good, but also through your free will, you might not do good. You might choose evil in this process. So now it's leaning on your free will and what you choosing to do out here. God, take me another way because free will popped up. When I read this, the free will popped up. Yeah, I've been dreaming about people from my past, and I'm still just seeing these people from the past. All kind of people. Everybody just popping up from the past. Yeah, good things gone. Like, God got something better on the way. Like, God like, shoot, what? Oh, no, ain't nobody finna just do you, like, throw you to the swine. Like, ain't nobody finna do you like that out here. He like, pack up. You know what he tell the prophets, don't he? I'm gonna have to look that up real quick. Hold on. Something mean. It's just a lot of stipulation for the prophetic. God take me a lot of different ways with this, but I'm gonna take my time because he told me to get out my Bible. So I did the video earlier. He take me a lot of different ways. Shoot. Because I'm like, I already know. Okay. So, with me being prophetic, it's just a certain type of energy that I'm walking in and moving in, a certain type of authority I'm moving in out here. Like, I'm different. And I keep stressing it. Like, I'm different for real. I would say, if you don't know, ask somebody. Ask somebody that know me. I'm different. Okay. So, with that being said, I'm finna read Matthew right now. And it's just basically when God sent out the 12. When he sent out the 12 disciples, this is what he's giving them instructions on what to do. And I'm not reading the whole thing, but I'm going to start at verse 11. Matthew 10:11. It say now, and he's talking to the 12 disciples before he sent them out to start just, doing what they do out here. Just start like worshiping him and stuff like that. Like before they go out to spread the word, he just letting them know what to do. So he finna send them out now. So now they finna go out and start recruiting and trying to get people to him and stuff like that. So Matthew 10:11. It said, now, whatever city or town you enter, inquire who in it is worthy, and stay there till you go out. And when you go into a house, greet it. If a household is worthy, let your peace come up on it. It's going to be peace around. That's why I said people just want my peace. Like, people just want to be around me because they do have peace around me. Like, I know this. Like, God give them peace for just being around me. So, it's like, if a household is worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it is not worthy, let your peace return to you. And whoever will not receive you, nor hear your words, when you depart from that city or house, shake off the dust from your feet. Assuredly, I say to you, it is more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. So, baby, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you can't just come to me any kind of way. Like, I'm out here on assignment. So it's just like, okay, you move. If somebody don't want to listen to what I got going on, I'm not here to beg you. I'm not here to plead, because God said free will in the picture. So with free will in the equation, I just say what I say, and then I let you decide. I say what I say, and I let you decide. And I just keep it moving. But it just said, if you around and people, around, then just say, let your peace come up on it. And it's just talking about come up on their household, come up on their place. But then it said, and whoever will not receive me, it say whoever will not receive you. So basically it say, whoever will not receive you, nor hear your words, when you depart from that city, shake off the dust from your feet. Surely I say to you, it will be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the city of judgment than for this city. So it's just like, if ain't nobody receiving you, you good. Just keep it moving. Keep it moving. I'm going to deal with them. Like, it's going to be chaos. Like, I'm going to handle it. But you just do what I told you to do out here. So that's what I do, y'all. But any kind of like stuff people going, I ain't got nothing to do with it. I ain't got nothing to do with what people got going on, because God, he ain't gonna even let me see it. God showed me everything, but when he played judgment on people, he get me out the situation. I'm not gonna be physically able to see nothing. And then he just do what he do, dealing with it and dealing with those people. And God don't play about me. He see everything. So you might be in my face smiling, but God showing me the conversation you having with me outside the room. I can be at home in my house and watching you talk about me. God is going to sit there and give me the rundown. I don't treat people no different, but just know God come to me and tell me about people who two-faced and fake and be in your face and be behind your back and be like, God showing me all this. I know all this going on, but I'm not judging people in this situation. I just be like, oh, okay. It's not for me to look down on people and judge people, but I just see how people move. And you know, it just is what it is at this point. Just take it for what it is and keep it moving. But that's what it say. So it just say, do what you supposed to do out here. And if they ain't receiving you, then okay. So if you don't receive me, I'm good. I'm Gucci. I'm gonna keep moving. But there's gonna be consequences behind it on your end. Because he said, and this him sending out the 12 disciples. He said, if they don't want to hear what you gotta say, and they don't want to receive you, then cool. He said it's gonna be worse. It's gonna be bad. He said, surely I say to you, it's more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for their city. Okay. So, I mean, what more can be said about that? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm here. I do what I gotta do. Either you're gonna receive what I gotta say, or you're not gonna receive what I gotta say. Okay. So this is in Matthew right here. So basically, when I look and I read like Genesis, I know I'm just going where it go. I'm just like smile talking, y'all. But when I read Genesis about the fruit, all they knew was good. Remember I told you, all they knew was good, right? All Adam and Eve knew was good. They never experienced nothing bad. So, even with that being said, God is just, God is fair. So, if God is just and God is fair, you got to make a choice. Like, you got to have an option. It wouldn't be fair if you didn't have an option. So, even with the fruit being in the Garden of Eden, and God said, don't eat of this fruit, he still had to give them the option to choose at the end of the day. Like, they still had to have the option to choose what they was going to do. Because he got to make it fair. Like, God is just. Everything can't just be good, and we got free will. You got to choose between the good and the evil at the end of the day. I tell you all the time, free will is a double-edged sword. Free will is a double-edged sword out here. So, that was a prime example. And God got to give you a choice out here. Like, you got to be able to choose good or choose bad. Everything can't just be good. Because he designed us to have free will. So that means we got to choose from something. So if we choose and choose and choose, and it's nothing bad in the equation, it's just all good, we're not really using our free will, are we? So now we're in a position where we got to choose, which also mean that we got to get to the point where we choose him. We got to also choose him through our free will. Not only is we choosing the tree to give us knowledge of good and evil, now we got to also get to the point where we going to choose God. We got to choose him. First, everything was just like, okay, it's God. But because God designed us and made us unique and made us like him to be able to choose, we got to exercise that. And we got to use our free will to choose him. If that makes sense. Because you got to look at how God operates. Like, everything got to be fair. Everything got to be fair. It got to be a good. If it got to be a good, that means it also got to be a bad. Like, it's a duality. Let me see what duality means. I'm coming right back. So I keep speaking on this duality. This, you have duality. I don't know if I was saying duality or the proper word. But duality is an instance of opposition or contrast between two concepts or two aspects of something, a dualism. So it's a human duality is a theme widely explored in literature and psychology. It refers to the conflicting nature of an individual, how one can encompass both good and evil, or more broadly, potentially incapable characteristics. Duality is a reflection of the complexities of human nature. It also says duality refers to the state of having two different or opposite parts or elements. Duality acknowledges the existence of opposing forces or concepts within a reality. It's a duality often highlights the coexistence of seemingly contradictory elements like good and evil, light and darkness, order and chaos. So I feel like in Genesis, everything, like, in order for, if God is perfect and everything gotta be perfect, everything gotta be perfect, God instilled free will in us. That means at a certain point we got to choose. Like, we got to choose. And choosing is a double-edged sword, because we also at a certain point got to go back and choose him. Like, we got to choose him. Like, we can't, God didn't make us just to automatically just be like, okay, you gonna serve me. He didn't do us like that. He said, I want you to choose to serve me. So in this process of good and evil, chaos, order, right, wrong, we also, through our free will, got to choose him. Just like we got to choose evil and we got to choose good. We got to choose him too. He got a place that he created. Because I'm just speaking, but because he created this good and evil, he got a place. At first, he only had a place for the good. It was only a place for the good that was heaven, because everything was good. But when you factor in evil and bad into this equation, now he got to create a place for the bad. So now you got heaven and hell. But first, it was only heaven. Hell, not even, if you read the Bible, hell wasn't never even created, designed for us, no way. Like, we not even designed to be in hell. But because we got a choice, God got to designate a place for us, for those who choose not to want him. So now he got to create a hell. And the ones that don't want him, then they gonna be, and they don't want no dealing with God, God is going to separate himself from them one day. He's going to end up just finally separating himself. And that's what it's going to be. So either you're going to pick God or you're not going to pick God at the end. But he going to give you the opportunity and make it fair as possible. And he's a just God to give you that choice to make you choose if you want him or not. Like, he got to make it fair all the way across the board. Like, he can't have no flaw, no error. So everything got to be equal. An equally opposite reaction, so to speak. So that's kind of what's going on. You know, when I look and see just the beginning of creation and him instilling it, you cannot eat of this fruit or you should be like us, knowing both good and bad. Because they only knew good at first. So would it be fair for us just to walk around and only know good and not know bad? And he designed us to have to know good and bad. So I guess for us to even know bad, we would have to go into a fallen state. It's no other way. Like, how else you gonna know evil in heaven with God, the Holy of Holies? Evil can't dwell where he lives. So if you give enough free will, then shoot, what that mean? I know, y'all, I'm just going deep in this. So you getting us the opportunity for free will, which means both good and bad got to exist. Then shoot, yeah, everything for us as humans to exist, everything have to play. Everything is playing a part. Even Satan play a part in all of this. The test Satan do, it make you stronger as a person. It's supposed to make you stronger. But Satan even play a role in all of what's going on. Everything playing a function. Everything playing a role. So, it all plays a role. And a lot of people be like, Satan. Me, I'm just like, God said, if you're doing the works of my Father, then you just put Satan in his place. You put Satan in his place, but people scream about Satan, but Satan's judgment ain't kind yet. My hand itching. Satan's judgment ain't kind yet. But when God judges Satan, God got to judge you too. So is you right? So before you scream about all these people need to be judged, you too will have to be judged. Sometimes God spare them to save you in this process. Because you ain't right. He trying to give you time to get right out here before he finally play judgment on whatever going on. But if Satan got to be judged, all of humanity got to be judged too. We ain't ready for that. So he getting us time to get right. He getting out now. He's going after the one. You know how God say he'll lead the 99 sheep for the one? Okay, now he's going for the one. He symbolically, it's not one, but he's going for the ones that's out and trying to bring them back to him. So he kind of like in that mental state, like Jesus is going out for the one. He's telling the ones, ooh, my hand just start itching. He's telling the ones. Oh, he didn't want to start itching, God. I know what some people say about itching hand, but I'm like, oh, my hand just would not stop. Like it just would not. I'm rubbing my hand on my leg. I'm rubbing, like it's starting to itch more. Like I can't stop my hand from itching. But Jesus, he's in a state now where the ones that's for him, that's rocking with him, he like, y'all is good. So we is good. We in a good place right now. We at peace. We enjoying ourselves. So now Jesus is going out for the one. You know how in the Bible say he lead the 99 for the one? He's going out for the one right now. And I put one with an S on it, ones. So he's going out and he's retrieving these ones now. So that's what he's in the process of doing right now. Because he's trying to get them back to him. Because the ones that's already with him, he's like, y'all good. Y'all ain't got no worries. Y'all ain't got nothing to worry about. Y'all supposed to be at peace, resting up, having fun, enjoying yourself right now. But I'm finna go out and now I'm finna retrieve the one that's strayed away. I'm going after that right now. So that's what he doing in the spiritual, y'all. Yeah. So, y'all, that's all that I'm speaking on right now. Free will. Okay, I'm finna speak on the free will because the free will go back to Adam and Eve, which is going back to we got to make a choice. Like, we got to make a choice, y'all. So we got to be tempted. Part of this process is we got to be tempted. Jesus had to be tempted. He had to be tempted. So you too got to be tempted. And you got to pass these tests out here. It's all a test and you got to pass the test. All of it. Like everything is in order. Everything serves a purpose. Everything serves a purpose out here. So even with the temptation, we all got to go through temptation. We all got to be tempted. We all got to pass the test. We all got to go through this. Jesus had to go through it. We got to go through it too. It's just a cycle of life. Because you got both good and evil in this equation. So now you in a position where you got to pick. We ain't have to do that at first. Now we got to pick. We got to pick God now. And people then strayed away from him. So he going out for that 1% or the ones with an S on it that done strayed away. He chasing after them now. Because the 99 he got, we is good. So now he's going after the ones that done strayed away. Okay, so now back to my free will. So, okay, these people from my past, everybody keep popping up. Leave it alone. These people keep popping up in my visions. They still popping up, all kind of people. Everybody from my past, everybody's just popping up in my visions. Everybody's popping up in my vision dreams. Some people, they too shy to even show their face. Like, I can't even look, they wouldn't even be able to look me in my face because they going to be convicted. Like, you can't be in my presence because you being in my presence going to convict you. Like, you just going to be convicted. The Holy Spirit just going to convict you. So, I see these people, which I'm like, certain people, the door just shut. The door just completely shut. Like, it's just like, God not going to put me through, like, I ain't got to deal with it. God said, you ain't got to deal with it because I saw everything that was going on. And you ain't finna have to go through that no more. You done came out the storm. You ain't finna go back in it. But I keep seeing these people from my past. So I go to God. I'm like, God, these people from my past keep popping up in all my visions, all my dreams. They just, you sitting here showing me people who just think about me all day, all the time. People just thinking about me, just like, it's like a form of torment. And the punishment and me not being around And the relationship just being just like cut off, that's the judgment. God said that's the judgment. So I'm sitting. He spoke to me about it. These people popping up, them choosing to just still think about me and all this and that. And God said it's their free will. God said he can't interfere with the free will of these people. So even though it's a closed chapter in your life, they are refusing to close the chapter. Through their free will, they just still choose to think on you. So he just looking like, so I'm like, well, what I supposed to do with the information? But God said, I'm fully protected, so I don't really have no worries or nothing dealing with what's going on. But they exercising their own free will to think on you. Like, they doing this. Like, this is what they doing with their free will. And he said, and I'm not finna interfere with the free will. So I think if he gets to a point where I'm in danger or something, then he gonna release his angels. He gonna step in. But right now, it's just the free will of people, and it's just a constant reminder. Like, why for some people, why is you tormenting yourself with what you can't have? Like, why is you tormenting yourself with what you can't have out here? Cause that's what you're doing. But God says free will, and he just his hands in the air. His hands in the air on this. I'm like, what? Like, what I supposed to do with all these people from the past? Like, it's so many people. So many people from the past. And God says it's their free will. This is what they choosing to do with their free will. Go forward with yourself. Because you thinking on what you can't have, that's torment. Like, that's torment. Because I ain't never going back to that. Like, I'm in a whole different season right now. I done elevated. I ain't finna go back to that. To none of that. Everybody that was in my past had the opportunity to do right by me. And everybody just huge disappointments. Huge disappointments. I'm not finna go back to none of that. I ain't got no reason to be walking around in disappointments from the expectations of people. Like, I don't have to deal with that no more. Because God finna bring new people around, and I ain't got to deal with this. It's going to be new people now. So I'm trying to close the old. But the old would not let go. They would not shut the door. They would not, like, under no circumstances. And God said, it's out my hands. And he just said, you good. So you just go forward what you got going on. But somebody try to step in my space and invade my privacy and disturb my peace, it's going to be a problem. Because I'm going to go personally before him in the courts of heaven. Like, I'm finna go before him in the courts of heaven. If somebody come and invade my space, and I'm finna plead my case, but right now, God says it's no worries. He like, yeah, they using their free will to do this. And he said, and I'm not gonna interfere with the free will. He said, I'm not jumping in this. He said, but they using their free will. But why torment yourself with what you can't have? Like, why would you do that? You can't have it. The chapters is closed. The book is closed. Ain't no doubling double back on it. Ain't none of that. So I'm finna let y'all go. But since I'm talking about free will, I'm talking about Adam and Eve. I'm talking about them using their free will. I'm talking about free will in general. And now God did speak to me on free will on people who just refuse to go forward with themselves. They just refuse to go forward. And that's their problem. God said, that ain't my problem. That's their problem. But, yeah. He said, that's their problem. If they refuse to go forward, that's going to be their problem. And you just keep moving forward because I got better things for you. These people is not finna, like, I'm not going back through the mud. Ain't nobody finna drag me back through no mud. Ain't nobody finna drag me back to the past. So, Bailey, you just wasting your time and energy, really. When you could be doing something with yourself, you rather just sit there and just think on me. Like, that's torment. That's torment. Just go forward with yourself at this point. To you people. But I keep saying more and more people pop up. All week, God just showed me all people. Like, it be so many different people. Different people just pop up in dreams. All these people from the past. You burnt the bridge, it's gone. God said no access. Access denied. Access is denied. If you burnt your bridge with me, the access is denied. I am not opening up another door. Fully disappointed. Fully disappointed in people. But now I ain't got to worry about being disappointed in people. I'm glad my loyalty to God, because he ain't going to never let me down. But people, fully disappointment. So, right now I'm at peace. I'm in my restoration period. I just posted a video. I'm in my spirit of peace. My spirit, my period of harmony. I'm learning my guitar, my harmony. Like, I'm in a good place, in a good space right now. So, y'all enjoy y'all day. Y'all be safe. And then earlier in the video, I was speaking on like sexy red. And basically, that's just for people who look down on people. People who sit around like, oh, yeah, I listen to God all day. So, yeah, I'm better than you. I'm like, that music just is wicked. They doing all, the industry is just tiny all the way around, even in the music. Even when you think they singing about God, what they doing behind the scenes. It's just as corrupt. So, you don't want that filth, period. And there's certain church songs God would not even let me listen to. And they church songs. And my spirit would not let me listen to these songs at all. So, that's why in the video I was just like, shoot, you might well listen to Sexy Red. But I was just speaking in context of people who just think that they're better. So to speak, I'm doing better. My works are better than your works. Because God said no better works can get them in heaven. Because everybody flawed. But you do want to try to walk that walk and do the best you can. You do need discernment and the Holy Spirit to let you know what you can and what you can't listen to. Some people, God even use the secular songs to even get certain messages across. Like you see certain prophetic people, they use secular songs and the words from those songs and be like, look, this is what God's saying. God can use anything. If he can turn Saul into Paul, he can use anything, including a secular song. Just like that Mary J. Blige, No Drama. God said, post that song right there. That's it. That's the song. That's the song for 2025. Somebody might say something against it, but that's what God told me. So, he said all these songs wasn't originally bad. They weren't originally all praising him, but he said these songs wasn't originally bad either. Like he spoke and said that too. So just because it's not giving him praise and stuff, like sometimes even in your flesh, like sometimes you need some motivation. Okay, let me listen to this song so I can just go forward with my day. You know, certain songs do encourage you. You know, certain songs do have certain types of effects on you. But certain songs do create other spirits too. So you just gotta listen to the song and, you know, I ain't saying get deeper to secular. Because I don't really listen to too much. But certain songs have helped people through what they've been going through and, you know, going through their heartbreak, and they listen to certain people and they just like, ooh, this song got me through. Like, certain people do that, you know. But I'm not sitting here telling you to feed your spirit filth, because God, he's going to be like, that's junk. I can watch something on TV. I can sit there and watch Marvel, the superheroes. God is like, that's junk. Really, if it's up to God, everything junk. All of it filled. If you going before God, everything gonna be filled. It's nothing you can watch. I'm gonna tell you that, but it's nothing, absolutely nothing. Everything contaminated. But through Christ, everything is pure and made whole. So you just have to pray over what you got going on. Even with the music, God can use that to touch somebody and say, okay, this, that. God can use any and everything going on. But I just specifically, when I was saying it, was talking to people who really just feel like they better because they listen to Christian music as opposed to people who listen to secular. But I'm here to tell you that my spirit don't even agree with half of the Christian music that's out. My spirit, I can't even listen to that stuff. I can probably listen to a Sexy Red song before I hear some of this Christian music that's out. My spirit don't even agree with it. To the point where it'll give me a headache. Like, a voice will be like, cut that off. And it'll be a church song. Singing to God. Singing about God's glory. God be like, cut that off. Right now. And guess what? God gonna act a fool with me. So he only got to tell me once. So that's why I said what I said. Because all of it just kind of contaminated like a dualism. What I was saying earlier, with the good and bad, all of it mixed together. Even in the Bible, it say the wheat and the tares is together. It said on Judgment Day is when the separation will occur. All you can do is just pray and try to do the best you can to walk that walk. You're not going to be perfect. It's no way to be perfect. Not without Christ. It's no way, because everything is just thrown in and mixed together. And in everything. Like, it's no way you can walk somewhere and be like, okay. Like, you're going to be exposed to something along the way throughout the day. Against your free will, you're just going to be exposed by association. Exposed because you in a fallen state. But that's what Christ coming to this picture, y'all. So I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all enjoy y'all day. But it's just all mix and blend in. But even then, in your heart, just try to want to do right. Try to want to act right. Try to want to live right. Even through all of what's going on. Just try to want to do right. In all this. So yeah, so I'm gonna let y'all go. Y'all enjoy y'all day. But the good and bad, how can you separate it? How can you possibly separate the good and bad? Like, even with even when you're dealing with watching a movie, how can you possibly separate it? Not certain things that you know just the money, just like, nah, I can't watch that. But every single thing that you see on TV is gonna be something wrong with it. And while I'm there, the Holy Spirit sitting there telling me everything that's wrong, everything going on, I get to the point I just cut the TV off. Because God gonna make the experience very just like, okay, let me cut this off. Like, I'm better off not watching nothing. You better off not listening to nothing sometimes. Sometimes I do listen to certain people that do prophetic ministry. Like, I listen to very few people, not a lot. Not a lot. But other than that, like, I don't really do nothing. My kids, they be like, Mom, why you don't listen to no music no more? Because I guess when I was young, I used to listen to all this music. And I just like, I just don't have the desire for it. I just don't have the desire for the music and stuff. You know, and it's real vague. But I listen to my kids when they listen to rock and roll, listen to their little stuff. I listen to certain stuff, you know, while I'm riding with them, listen to their playlists and stuff like that. Because I'm still in the world. So I'm still like, okay, let's get to where we going. You know, but at the end of the day, I'm still trying to walk with Christ. I ain't trying to be no hypocrite out here or lukewarm, like, in this process. But sure, it's almost impossible to separate the good and bad right now. The tares and the wheat growing together, it's all together, it's all mixed in, it's all blended in, it's all contaminated at one point, some point. And you might not even see everything going on with these Christian artists and what they doing behind closed doors. I know allegedly, now I might be wrong, but I think Kurt Franklin did a video where he was saying he be butt naked when he do his music. Like, he said he don't have no clothes or nothing, he just be coming up with songs and stuff. Like, yeah. And everybody love Kurt Franklin. So everybody love him. So I'm just saying, y'all, like, we all, like, don't be so judgmental about everything going on out here. That's all I'm saying to so many words. Like, don't be so judgmental, because it's very hard to dissect the good and the bad. Like, I'm trying to do it all day, every day, and I can't do it. Especially if you got kids. You can't do it like that. Like, you really can't. Because you still trying to be down to earth for your kids. Like, you still trying to have a mediator. Like, you still trying to meet them somewhere. Like, you ain't trying to be so far off away from the world that you just so detached from everything and everybody. Because, like, Jesus going out for that 1%, the ones. Okay, he's sending us out to go out for the ones out here. So, okay. We got to have some kind of connection to the people to get out here to recruit these ones out here. Okay, y'all. I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all enjoy y'all day.